Hi guys, Fricky here. I know it's been a few days since I've posted. I've actually recorded several videos, but this one will probably just sum it up. I built the JIG. It's basically two beams that's been braced inside. They bolt straight onto the crossmember bolts, and then they bolt onto the rear leaf springs, and also at the rear the chassis legs just basically rests on them. I've also welded specific places for the chassis legs to rest, basically the lowest places, or the where the spot welds, the factory joints is. There's a beam coming out. This one is basically just a support, as this beam on both sides is in the air here as I wanted it. I strictly did it like this, so I can put in plates below it as I'm drilling it or welding it, but I don't want a flush gap there. So basically I can adjust it slightly. I want it like that, so I can adjust it accordingly to the build. So yes, basically this body is bolted onto this frame. It's rock solid. The jig itself doesn't have legs or anything, as I'll be adding those a bit later on. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to quickly loosen up the rear bolts, and then I'm going to cut the front end off. I'm going to cut the roof off, and then I'm going to cut the front end pretty much right about here, just in front of the seat reinforcement brackets, because from there rear this car's floor is actually still perfect. We had a lot of rain, as you can see this car's filled up with water. At least the boot floor is holding some water. So once that's all removed, I'll be drilling out the spot welds on the tunnel as well. I'm really considering using this tunnel in the RS as well, as I like the automatic tunnel. It's bigger for in case in the future if I want to go a bigger gearbox like a 5-speed, there won't be any complications. Even I can go automatic if I really want to go auto one day. But yeah, on the RS itself I haven't done much. I still need to finish the roof. I'll be welding that in sometime soon. I bought two Ford Cortinas, two Mark 5s, a bucky and a car. The car I won't be saving, the car is just strictly for parts. But the bucky has got air suspension. Apparently the guys wanted to build some type of showroom bucky. I never got to it, and I need a bucky, so but that's going to be a later on project. We're first going to finish the RS. So yeah, let me get to it. I'm going to cut the roof off. I'm not sure where I'm going to cut it from the back. I might go straight through the tubs. I'm not sure. I really don't want to cut this floor. I might go through here, or we might just pick it up from this floor section and the roof, this whole back, and we'll just pick it up and put it somewhere else, because I need to make the space for the car and the bucket to be delivered. I can't go fetch them until this body is out of the way. So yeah, I'm gonna start cutting. See you soon. I'm not too much worried about this section. As I told before, I'm not going to be using it. The tunnel, the bulkhead, otherwise I had to cut. There's not much. Everywhere where the tunnel was welded to was actually rusted. Can you believe it? As you can see, we cut on the tunnel spot welds on the bulkhead side. Might as well try to save the tunnel, as we won't be able to save any of these corners on this bulkhead. I cleaned that up, quickly removed all the rust. As you can see, all the pitting there, it's pretty bad. We might be able to save there. It doesn't look too bad. So what I'm going to do is I'll be actually just cut out the dash from the spot welds. I will be drilling out this strip now, or well, tomorrow or so. I won't be doing anything today. This is going to be the last I'm going to do. But what the idea is, the chassis rail, this is where the factory joins on the chassis rail. So we're just going to cut it here. We're going to drill out these spot welds, and then we're going to just grind it clean, and we're going to remove this section of this inner sill. We're going to clean it up. We're going to do the same thing after we remove that floor pan. We're going to remove this inner, well, basically it's part of the floor pan. We're going to remove all of this sealant everywhere. We're going to remove this section of the inner floor, clean it up, and then we're going to decide how far we're going to cut back on the sill. That side of the sill doesn't look too bad, so we might just cut back to about here and then do the same with that one, and then just weld it up. We might be able to save on the RS sills. But back, we're going to remove the floor from the lower bulkhead on that side. We're just going to drill it out, clean it up nicely, same with that section over there, and then the same with the sill on that side. We're going to cut as far back as possible we might be needing. Then what we'll be doing over here, you see this structure point, this is what I was talking about. We'll be drilling out this scars over here, and we're going to remove it. This structure goes with this inner A-post. So we'll be drilling out the spot welds on it and be removing it. The same with the RS2000s, we'll be cutting it from the inside and then drilling it out. So basically that entire dash with the inner A-post, the structure point, will be welded plug welded back into this section of the car. We'll just clean up all the old sealant. I can see it's pulled loose. We've got some rust over here. I'll just clean it up and see if it will need some welding. But that's the idea. So we're going to join the car on this chassis leg, and then also we're going to use this inner A-post on the RS and join it back to the A-post on this one. So we'll just be drilling out all the spot welds and then removing this piece, and then the same with the corner. We'll just cut the skin off here, and the same with that one, and then that'll be just welded back on. I know the wiper motor, I need to remove it. I was too lazy, to be honest. And then on the upper bulkhead we do have rust, so it wasn't as clean as we assumed in the first place. I really don't want to remove that bubble, but as we already have this dash out, I might be doing all the repair work and welding from the inside of the bubble. So we might be doing all the repairing and the welding from this inside of the bubble. Then on the exterior you won't be able to see it, and then also we won't lose this factory look that we're after. I might just remove that entire piece and bend a new one and basically fit it from the inside and plug weld it back in. So we might be able to cut it from the inside, drill it out, same with this side, and then pull this section back in and weld it everything up from the inside, and then we'll just plug weld it back here, or just use the spot welder to weld it back. But worst case scenario, I don't really want to, but if we have to, I will remove this bubble to do the repairs on the inside. It is not too difficult. I have done it before. But this, yeah, I'm a bit disappointed on the lower and the upper bulkhead. It had way more rust than I thought. Here's the tunnel. As you can see where I chopped it. We might actually use this tunnel again on the RS. We can just see this piece I've cut out. I'm just going to be making a new tiny plate for there and weld it up on the bulkhead. I haven't done part of my garage. I know it's it's a big mess. Like, I've got parts lying everywhere, but I do have a clean bubble I did remove. So got loads of parts and stuff we can be using on it. I do have a repair patch of the floor and the sill from another car I removed a while back, but that won't be for this project, that will be for another project. It might be for the white and green one. If we plan to restore her, then it'll be used on her. But so forth, the rest of the car is super clean. I'm quite pleased with it. We'll just need to put a small patch over here. The rest of the car, despite the lower bulkhead there, the chassis rails is super clean. I thought I might be saving on this front valance, but I think I'm just going to get a replacement, as they're very easy to come by. The driver's side inner wing also beautiful. It's super clean all around. But so yeah, this is all I will be doing today. I'm thinking about, before I remove this front end of this chassis frame, I might just cut it, remove it, because I do need to move this chassis rail to get those two other cars in. So we might just cut it in half, pick up the rear end, carry it away on my junk pile, and then the front end I'll carry it myself. I'll bolt it back onto it, and then I'll do all the repairs on the lower bulkhead. I might do all the repairs on it while it's bolted on, so we know it doesn't pull anything like that it would. There's a lot of structure points still on this car, but I will do all the cleaning and weld in a new plate for the new tunnel, all that stuff, while it's not on the RS yet. When I'm happy with the front end, when we've done most of the work on it, I think I'll weld it back in. Else what I'll do is I think I'll do most of the cleaning and stuff while it's off the car, because I don't want to be trying to repair the bulkhead and all that stuff while the tunnel or while the dash is in. It's just going to be difficult. So while it's out, I can maybe build a new lower bulkhead quickly, do all the other bits and blobs, weld it up, and then just make sure it's flush, and then clean up everything in the inside, prime it, and then we know we're good to go on the front end, at least this section on the RS, once it's welded up or welded onto the new front end. On this end, like I said, I'm not going to do much. I'm just going to cut it straight here. I'm going to follow that line. I'll just cut this piece open, remove all that structure panels from this side so it remains on the dash. Then I'll just drill out all these spot welds. I've already cleaned them up. Then I'm just going to cut it straight through, and then I'm just going to wiggle it till the spot welds pop off. Same with this chassis rail. Just going to drill out the spot welds if I can find them. As you can see, there's literally nothing left of, I think this has already been welded there, as you can see there, or it's been twisted, I don't know. But now that I'm thinking about it, I might do this section looks quite dodgy. Let's have a look at this quickly, shall we? This is my ass guy I will be replacing on here. As you can see, this chassis rail is totally flat. this piece, let's see if we can get some focus again. Yeah, Sky. Ah, sorry. Sky's being Sky. Sky wants to say hello. Sky, you're being naughty. As you can see on this saw, it's actually quite good, but we might be just cutting it here. I'm not sure on this chassis, the second chassis rail. It looks fair. I might be saving on it. It's just here's been a little bit of welding, and this is a bit dodgy. I think I'm gonna cut that leg way further back before we'll be removing it on the factory joint. We'll be cutting it way back because this looks really dodgy on the RS. So before we'll be trying to save on this section over here, we might replace it as well. Well, so often we don't need to remove the spot welds. If we need to join the chassis leg, which I don't like, I'll show you how I do it. But we'll only know once this has been cleaned up. Okay, my curiosity overwhelmed me. So I cleaned up, I quickly removed that piece. It wasn't quite difficult. Even this side was just held on with like 3 spot welds, as you can see. This section till about here to there is completely destroyed. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut the white car's chassis rail right over here, and then this one I'm gonna cut about over here, clean it up nicely, and then I'm gonna bend it open slightly, and then that chassis rail I'm gonna push in the inside of this one like the factory joint. So I'm gonna push that piece right in here, and then I'm gonna plug weld it all around. I can't save that piece. This is gone. This is totally destroyed. It's still solid, but if you can see about the hole, it's you can even see it's bent from here. So there's no point of trying to save anything of it whatsoever. So we're just gonna cut it there by the hole, all bit back, clean it up nicely. We're gonna bend it open just like a millimeter open, and we're gonna push the new chassis rail in there, and we're gonna plug weld it, clamp it down solid, and then we're gonna put some plug welds in it and spot weld the rest of it. I'm not doing this. I'm not saving anything there. I can't risk that on this car. But yeah, now it's gonna be goodbye. I'll start the cleaning up process and stuff tomorrow. For now, I'm packing up everything. You guys can have a really good afternoon. Goodbye.